You're listening to Nippon Wired.
I'm Jonathan Cox.
I'm Filip Petrovic. All right.
All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to be talking about pre-Japan. What are we talking about in pre-Japan? Looking for a job, where to look, what kind of work you can find, what it feels like to speak Japanese versus not speaking Japanese, and the actual application process.
Yeah, to put it in simple words, just how to get a job in Japan.
How to get a job, and basically that time before you get on the plane. What are you sort of doing? What are you looking for? What's good? The things running through your mind. So let's get into it.
Yeah, like we have two sides here. We have a native English speaker
Yep.
and we have a not so native English speaker.
Yep.
So I guess let's start with the easy one first.
The
So,
easy one.
Yeah, how did it look for you? Native English speaker, how did you go about getting your job?
I
Here.
think from an Australian perspective, everyone starts at Gaijin Pod, right?
Yeah, Gaijin Port is like the biggest thing for foreigners.
The biggest website, right?
It's not the only one, but yeah. All right, so you use Gaijin Pot mainly?
Gaijin Pod only. I only looked through Gaijin Pod. I would say maybe for a period of about 2 months. 2 months through Gaijin Pod. Every other day, checking what's new. Mainly, English conversation, school-based stuff. What about you?
Well, I kind of decided somewhere like end of December I wanted to move out of Serbia because I didn't want to live in Serbia anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, something clicked, and I just wanted to be in Asia. And Japan was the number one option, of course. But if I
Yep.
couldn't get that because I'm a Serbian,
Yep.
I'm outside of European Union. I'm not a native English speaker.
Do you think being a non-native English speaker really influences?
Yeah, duh.
Enough said. Enough said. Okay, so what was it like? What was it like trying to find a job as a non-native English speaker?
Well, first, of course, I went to Gaijin Pot, and like I created my profile, did my CV,
Yep.
all of that like mandatory stuff.
Yep.
And I've just started looking through companies who would accept a non-native English speaker. There weren't many.
Not many at all. What do those sort of companies look like? They have GABA English and a few of the big chains. Were those chains sort of looking for?
GABA didn't want me.
Oh.
Noah said no, sir. I,
No one said no, sir.
I've tried Interac and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I've had like 4 years of teaching experience to Japanese people online
Yep.
beforehand, but that wasn't really in their ballpark.
Yeah,
So,
I would say so. So what sort of places were looking for? What sort of places would accept non-native speakers?
well, usually it's like one of those standalone private English teaching schools.
Yeah.
No, better known as eikaiwas.
Of course.
Smaller schools that would usually be somewhere in the sticks, so outside of like Tokyo. And,
Yep.
But some kindergarten and preschools were also looking for teachers, but I knew I didn't want to teach only children
Yeah.
because I'm not a children type of person.
Yeah, those are demanding jobs, you gotta
Change-
yeah.
Change the diapers, take them to the toilet, teach them how to use the toilet. That stands in the description of the job. So
Of course, yeah, they say it like you won't just be teaching English,
Yeah.
you'll be looking after kids.
I wanted no part of that.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So which website did you eventually decide on?
I used like a bunch. I used like Career Cross,
Yep.
ESL Jobs.
Yep.
I used like a 4 or 5.
What's the guy's somebody's
Dave's English Cafe,
Dave's
something
English
like that.
Cafe, Gaijin
There
Pod.
was Jobs in Japan.
Yep.
There was Career Cross. There was ESL Job 77, something along those lines. But
Yeah.
you Google like teaching job in Japan, it will all be on the first Google page.
Yeah, let's have a quick breakdown. Because a lot of the English teaching jobs, they all sort of run in the same sort of tandem. What sort of requirements do they all have? You know, in general, what sort of requirements do most schools run by?
Be a native English speaker,
Yep,
do not have a criminal record,
of course.
and have a university degree.
Of course. For visa sponsorship.
Yeah, and I kind of cheated. Like my school was like 3 years vocational degree, but kind of in the middle between like a vocational and university. So I kind of could cheat the system. But I was I was applying a lot. I applied for like 384 jobs.
384.
Yes, I
Who's
know.
counting, right?
I was counting because I just thought.
How many got back to you? I'm not saying like interview, but how many at least emailed you back?
From Japan, 2.
Oh, 384.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've applied to
Yep.
3 Chinese companies. 3 of them mailed me back and
Yep.
wanted me there
Yep.
ASAP. But it was kind of
Japan was on your sites, right?
yeah, it was kind of illegal in China. So if police catch you, they would have to like But they said, "Oh, don't worry. Like we're on good terms with the Shanghai police. So even if they can,
Yeah, you don't want to trust that.
yeah, but I was ready to do that if I couldn't find anything in Japan.
Yep.
And then 2 of the 384 actually replied, and then I got into a further email exchange with one of them, and
Yep.
I ended up here.
Yeah, very nice. What do you think about native English speakers? Because I applied to way fewer places.
I
than
hate all of you. I just hate all of you.
I won't give an exact number, but I applied for quite a few places, but not 384.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I didn't even apply to 100 places. As a
Right.
native English speaker, I would say companies have a bit of a bias. They think you're a native English speaker. That's sort of fine,
Yeah.
right?
Like even when I got through the first interview and scheduled the second interview,
Yep.
I was still very skeptical because I was expecting some native guy to like apply as well and
Yeah.
to kind of leave me on the sidelines.
Do you think your experience? Because this is an important question, like you're a non-native English speaker, but you have quite a few years experience. Did that help you in any way?
I think that was a plus, but most of the English speaking schools are looking for people fresh out of university.
Yep.
So they can like teach you the system. I'm like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
For sure.
So, it's like 50-50. It can be a benefit, it can be a drawback. So.
Yeah. If you're not looking for an English teaching job, what sort of jobs do you think people in Japan, let's say firstly, people in looking for a job in Japan with very little knowledge of the Japanese language, what kind of jobs can they find? Maybe like IT or
IT is the big one.
Yeah.
Like engineers are another one.
Yeah. People in very technical, sort of mechanical, that kind of industry.
Yeah, definitely.
Because even in Japan, those guys work in a very English sort of environment,
Yeah.
I think.
And other than that, your best bet is, even though it's technically legal,
Yep.
but you could come here on a tourist visa,
Of course.
and then look for like convenience store, like cleaning something, and
yeah.
then they get you signed on the contract. Then you have to go out of the country and re-enter to activate kind of your new visa.
Oh, yeah, I see.
To switch from the tourist visa to the working
Yeah,
visa.
if you're on a working holiday visa, you can even do it within Japan.
Yeah.
So I don't know what sort of country you come from, but country like Australia, you can apply for a working holiday visa very easily.
Yeah.
And then once you're in Japan, you get a job, you can swap over quite easily. But people who travel in Japan for the first time would be quite shocked as to how many foreigners work in convenience
yeah.
stores, and like there are lots.
Oh yeah.
There are lots, People are quite shocked by that,
The thing is, during my like long tenure of searching
Yep.
for jobs,
How long, by the way? 384, but how
like
how
I started
long did that
looking, I started looking in December,
Oh yeah.
and I ended up
And
here in March.
we're in September now.
Right,
Yeah.
but I've come across by complete accident. I've come across a guy who went on a student exchange program, ended up in Japan in high school,
Yep.
and then decided it wasn't for him, so he came back. But he could have easily stayed here if he wanted to.
Yeah, of course, of course.
But
yeah.
he couldn't help me.
Yeah. Couldn't help you at all, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the next question is, what about speaking Japanese versus not speaking Japanese? You know, everybody says if you speak Japanese, it'll really give you the upper hand. Is that true?
Not really.
I don't think so either.
Not really.
I don't think so.
Because some of the employers might think of it as a crutch, and then you're going to use it too much in the classroom.
Yeah.
But definitely, I think it helps in terms of like people who want to get you here. If you're working for a kindergarten type of school,
Yeah, of
it's going to
course.
help. And even like they know they don't have to babysit you through the like, get your driver's license, get your documents and stuff.
Yeah, how to separate garbage,
Yeah.
where the supermarket is, how to operate a bus schedule.
Yeah, paying your bills.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
paying your bills, going to the combini, giving them the receipts, paying your bills. Yeah, those are all hassles if you don't speak Japanese.
Yeah.
I would say.
Like life is a hassle if you don't speak Japanese. It's
Mm.
like I don't know actually how people do it.
Yeah.
Because I came here with already between N4 and N3 level of Japanese proficiency.
Yeah, quite high. You know?
Yeah.
I think high enough. I mean, this is a question everybody's always asking themselves. I know. I was asking myself before. I've been studying Japanese for about 2 years. What do you think the base sort of level is for coming to Japan? Besides the, where's the toilet, what time do you open kind of stuff?
Directions.
Yeah, for
sure. Like shopping.
Yep.
Definitely. Like even I spoke pretty decent. I could hold a 1-2 hour conversation in Japanese,
Yep.
but I wasn't ready for the supermarket, bro. Like when I came here,
There's a big difference,
Yeah,
right?
supermarket was a challenge,
Yeah.
There's nothing in English and all the products look different, so you don't know what's what.
Yep. Yep.
And that's
That's something that throws a lot of people off. They think I can hold a conversation in Japanese, but the difference is when you're having a conversation with somebody, you're discussing a topic that you already understand. When you get thrown into a supermarket, all the information is coming at you at one time.
Yeah.
And that freaks a lot. The bus station, the convenience store, all the information's coming at you at one time.
Right.
The door is opening, the elevator door is opening in a different language.
Yeah.
You don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
You press the button for open and close. It's in kanji. It's not even in English.
like you at some point you have to either get a phone number or a data card to be able to use the internet because you're gonna die without it.
Yeah.
Or you're
Yeah.
gonna get lost, one
Yeah.
of the two. And it all comes like in Japanese. I didn't want to
sure.
I didn't want to ask my company staff to go with me and baby. I tried everything by myself before asking for help.
But it's hard, right?
It's hard.
It's hard. I mean, if your company doesn't help you, I mean, there's a lot of paperwork to fill out. And my particular SIM card worked like this. You filled out paperwork, you mailed it to them, not email, you mailed it
You
to them.
mail it, yeah.
They mailed you another thing, you filled that in, you mailed it back to them, and then they mailed you the SIM card, and then you activate it online.
And you don't even know where to mail it. like where is that box that I can put it in and it magically goes to a
Just
place?
put it in a
right?
post box. Where's that?